The continuing story of the Virginia Beach mayor under fire. Town Bank has placed Will Sessoms on paid administrative leave. This comes after a Virginian pilot investigation that he voted for bank-related projects. New at 11, 10 of your side's Erin Kelly is here to tell us what this means for Sessoms and Virginia Beach.
Well, Virginia Beach Commonwealth's attorney Colin Stolley is stepping away from this case. He shared concerns of potential ethical conflicts, including that his family has ties to Town Bank and Mayor Sessoms contributed to his campaign. So he's going to ask another prosecutor to look into this. And here's what I learned about that process. Virginia Beach Commonwealth's attorney Colin Stolley says he won't be the one looking into allegations about Mayor Will Sessoms. A Virginian pilot investigation says Sessoms voted dozens of times on projects that benefited customers of the bank, where Sessoms is president of financial services. In a statement Wednesday, Stolley said in part, "When I was made aware of the allegations involving Mayor Sessoms, I sought an ethical opinion from the Virginia State Bar based on potential conflicts that could arise. The bar ruled it would be a violation of ethical rules of the Supreme Court for me or even my office to be involved in any potential investigation. As a result, I will ask the circuit court to appoint a special prosecutor to review this matter."
I think what Mr. Stolley did was exactly right. I mean, I would have done the same thing. The fact that his wife is employed there and his brother serves on the board, I think that it's imperative that he do that.
Portsmouth Commonwealth's attorney Earl Mobley explains what happens next.
You contact the circuit court judge, usually the chief judge or the duty judge of that week, and you say there's a conflict and we need to have a special prosecutor appointed, and then the judge picks another jurisdiction to do it. The question then becomes, which jurisdiction?
Mobley says the circuit court ultimately decides who looks into it. It could be an office inside or outside Hampton Roads.
It's very common. It happens all the time. But in a case of this magnitude, I just think it's so important that the public be made or be comfortable that somebody that's making decisions to investigate first and then to prosecute by somebody that has no connections with any of the parties.
People we talked to say they want to see the case play out.
Let's give them due process. Maybe it's not true, maybe it is, but it sounds like something is there.
Mobley says typically the special prosecutor determines whether there is probable cause that a crime has been committed, and if there are charges that need to be brought, then they would serve as also the special prosecutor. Now, Sessoms posted a statement on his Facebook page saying he was taking the allegations seriously and would do his own review of each vote in question. He told us he did not have any plans to step down as mayor, and to the best of his knowledge, he says he has not made votes putting him in violation of state conflict of interest laws. Erin Kelly, 10 on your side.
And a Virginia Beach council member says everyone in elected office these days is sensitive to allegations of conflict of interest. He says the conviction of former Governor Bob McDonnell and his wife has raised voters' expectations. And like Mayor Will Sessoms, Brad Martin wears two hats. He's a member of council, but also runs an engineering business. Sessoms here is in trouble because he voted on matters involving clients of his employer, Town Bank. Martin says it's more than just the votes that gets politicians in hot water.
The interactions, the conversations, being a part of the discussion, you've got to abstain from all of that, I think, to really keep the public trust.
Martin says he was glad to see the Virginia Beach Commonwealth's Attorney's Office remove itself from the investigation of Sessoms because that office gets a portion of its funding from the city.
10 on your side looked at the complete list of directors for Town Bank. Mayor Sessoms isn't the only local mayor on that board. Mayor Paul Frame is a Norfolk director as well as a member of the Hampton Roads board. Suffolk Mayor Linda Johnson is a Portsmouth director. Suffolk doesn't have its own Town Bank board. We spoke to a member of the Tidewater Libertarian Party who says the General Assembly needs to take a closer look at conflict of interest laws.
No one on any elected position that has any financial dealings should ever be allowed to sit in on an executive session where any of their projects are being discussed.
We reached out to both mayors, Frame and Johnson, to see if they were concerned about possible conflicts of interest. Neither answered our questions yet. It's important to note neither Frame nor Johnson bring in a paycheck from Town Bank. Sessoms is not only a director on the Virginia Beach board, but he's also a president of its financial group.